Hello and welcome to Eye on Oakland. I'm Chuck Moss, your host. I've got a great guest. We're going to talk with Scott Zielinski, who's the City of Birmingham Director of Public Works. And what is Public Works? It sounds like just about everything, but we'll get into that. And so welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Chuck.
Yeah, glad to have you. So what is the Department of Public Works? What does that encompass?
As you alluded to, it's a lot of things. It's the streets being taken care of for potholes. It's water mains being replaced, repaired. It's sewers. And then on the more fun side of things, it's all of our parks that are throughout the downtown and outskirts of the city. It's the golf courses. It's the ice arena. It's a lot of hats throughout that we deal with the city.
So how long have you been director?
I've been the director for just shy of 3 years now. And I was formerly actually with our engineering department when I came to the city. I kind of worked my way up the ranks and managed to find myself where I'm at now.
So how long have you been with Birmingham?
Just under 6 years.
6 years?
Yeah.
That's a long time. Oh, good. And I'm going to just throw in something, a little question. I'm going to call them garage events, open houses, whatever. I know you do those.
Yep. So not even just us, because police and fire have their own garage events as well, as you're calling them. But for our city staff, if anybody wants to learn more about DPS as a whole, the equipment we use and that sort of thing, we usually do that mid-May. So start looking in April for us to have stuff posted out about that.
Okay, well, I have a bias, and I'm going to have to just set it out for everyone. About 2 years ago, a little over 2 years ago, our youngest daughter went in the hospital and came home with a little baby boy who is now 2. And if there's anything he likes, it's big trucks, mostly yellow trucks, but he likes fire engines and he likes so we go to all those places and he loves them, sits in the chair and is very excited. So anything where he sees big trucks, as long as it's not a fire truck coming to our house, is going to be good. So now, infrastructure, water, sewer, probably the most important stuff. You're in charge of that, right?
Yep.
How is that going with an older city like Birmingham? You've got to be constantly replacing.
Yeah, there's a lot of challenges. We work really well with our engineering department to, we emphasize here's where we're seeing the most issues. And so they go and make projects specific to those areas to try to take care of some of that older infrastructure. Birmingham's been around a really long time. There's sections of the city that have over 100-year-old sewer and water. Sewer seems to hold up a bit better, but water is a big concern for a lot of people. Like, do I have enough pressure? And these newer houses that come on, people have their sprinkler systems and stuff, and so it's a lot to take care of. Our staff's amazing though with. When we have water main breaks where you see the water shooting out of the ground and stuff, we get in, we take care of that stuff as quick as we can with as little disturbance as possible to neighborhoods. But it's a constant battle. Every city runs into it. We just happen to have a lot of really old stuff that we're working hard to repair.
Yeah, and it has to be kept up. I know that in my neighborhood, I was talking to someone and said, well, they just replaced the water in the sewer and redid the road. And they said, yeah, just replaced. What do you mean? That was like 22 years ago. Yeah. And now they're going to have, I start looking at a replacement. And the houses that are old and are old wood, if you don't have water pressure on those hydrants, that's a very bad thing.
Yeah, and thankfully we don't have any areas of concern. The city as a whole has a fire rating of a 2 when it comes to our water system.
But we do. I didn't know that they rated. How does that work?
Yeah, I don't know the exact how they exactly score all the points, other than the biggest components are access to water and pressures. That's like their heaviest weight in it. The fire department gets that rating through organization that they're involved with. But as a whole, a 2 is extremely good. In the state, there's only like a handful of rated 1s, and we're not actually that far off of the ability to be rated a 1 for our fire system. But 2 still, I don't remember the exact percentage, but it's a smaller percentage of cities throughout Michigan to even have a rating of a 2 like we do.
And for an older community, because we are an older community, I remember once again when they dug up old Woodward, and went down. They found wooden pipes.
Yeah, there's still in the certain random spots within town, there's still existence of that original like water main that is wood. Most of the stuff though in our city is like, the older stuff's cast iron. We have ductile iron for a lot of the newer things. For the most part, it still flows pretty well, but you open up one of those pipes that's like 100 years old and you'll see that like stuff's growing. It's
Yeah,
becoming,
arterial sclerosis. Yeah, I remember they did that not far from our house, and I'm looking at these pipes, and they're like that, and they're narrowed down to like that. Hey, 100 years is a long time. And don't they have, what is it, Orangeburg? I remember when that was an issue. Maybe still is. Orangeburg, you can explain what that is.
Yeah, there's a lot of residents actually still in town that have Orangeburg leads to their house. So that's their sewer, so dirty water leaving the house, for those that aren't aware of the difference between sewer and water for their property.
I had a friend who was a plumber, and he told me that plumbing is conceptually easy. Water up, poop down.
Yeah, fair enough. But Orangeburg specifically, the material makeup is a cardboard wrapped in tar, basically.
Yeah.
And it's layers and layers. So design life 50 years, a lot of that was put in like the 40s and 50s. And so there's people that have these 70-year-old leads plus that are beyond their life expectancy. So it is a thing that comes up fairly regularly. And we guide people the best we can as to what's going on.
Well, after World War II, all of a sudden you had to put a lot of houses down for a lot of people very quickly, and this is what they had to do. But cardboard. I remember one lady when I was dealing with that issue, and she's, what's the matter with you? That pipe is good for a half a century. And I said, When did you move in? And she said, after the war. And I said, which war? Well, that took a while to get that down, and she finally went, World War II. That was 1947 when you moved in 1945. Well, it's now 1999. You've gotten 2 extra years. She was not happy. But yeah, that the stuff doesn't last forever.
Yeah.
And you've got to keep it replaced. Now, what about now? We were just had a guest. We were talking about the governor and her fix the damn roads. Well, you got to fix the damn bridges too. Adams Road Bridge. That was a big project. Did you guys do that, or was that the state or the county?
That was before my time with the city,
Oh.
but I think there was some federal funds involved with that because that is part of the federal aid committee funded roads that we have in town. But I can't speak.
That
to
might
the
be
full
township
details.
too, for all I know, or Troy.
You get to the other side. The bridge is fully technically in Birmingham. So it's ours to maintain, but there's, like I said, there's federal funds involved with it.
So once again, back to questions that my grandson would ask. To do that, what is the biggest truck that y'all have?
Well, it'd be a debate between one of our large snow plows that does salt spreading in addition to plowing, or our Vector truck. The Vector truck is exactly what it sounds like. It's this giant vacuum. People find it really cool because
The big sucker.
yes,
I can say that.
yeah, it's used to do basically with digging without cutting into the soil. So areas where there's a lot of utilities or risk that we could break something, we try to use that because it's a more gentle way of getting down to what we need to look at, as opposed to just digging with like an excavator.
Yeah,
So.
that's not what you use to get up leaves.
No, we have these really interesting looking. They're called leaf suckers. They look like a weird fan vacuum that goes along they tow it along the edge of the road and suck up all the leaves. So like with that, leaf season is coming.
I wasn't going to get into that right now, but that's a very good transition.
Yeah. So anyways, we've on the calendar right at the end of the month. It's like the last Monday of the month is our first day.
Last Monday of September.
Yeah. Yep.
Right.
And it'll proceed through. It's scheduled to go through November, but obviously, if leaves drop late, we tend to extend our leaf pickup season. But the reminder to people is it's on the community calendar. They can see when we're supposed to be in their zones. And when we are in your zones, we ask, please get the trash cans out of the road. If you can get the cars off the street,
Get the cars off the road.
Makes it
I have
way
I have 3 cars. We have 3 cars and a 2-car garage. So the one car is is on the street. So yeah, how many times you have guys like me running out my bathrobe going, hold on, wait a minute, I'll move it.
you hear about it. I can't say it happens every single day, but yeah, it definitely happens where people realize their car's parked there.
Because they hear it. Oh my God, it's on the next street. We got to go.
Yeah, but the bigger one for us really is the trash cans. So if people can keep them into the green space as opposed to setting them in the road, because those can get hidden by the piles or if we're constantly dodging them as we go, we miss a lot of leaves. And, it's...
Well, as what happens, it's like with snow plows, and we'll get to it another time, but later, where you see the plowed area and it goes around and you realize, you didn't do it. You didn't have your car there. Yeah. Now, leaves and things, how big an effort is that? I mean, there's lots of leaves. It seems to me that must be an incredible campaign.
Yeah, it literally, usually during October, sometimes into early November, it takes over completely everything we're working on. We literally have like 3 or 4 crews of guys out there trying to pick up everything along all of our curb sections in the city. And then we bring it all back to our facility and it gets stacked up, and then we have to load it out, and we work with our other contractors to get them out of the city. But yeah,
where do they go?
So there's a full recycling area for all the leaves and stuff up near Rochester is where it goes to get thrown into compost and stuff like that.
So that's, I just, now that you mentioned it, it's an incredible amount of vegetable matter. It's got to be tons and tons of it.
It literally is tons and tons. You picture, most people know what a gravel train is, the large double axle trucks that have all that room. Those get filled up, and we just literally go days at a time, filling those up completely, trucking them out of town once we get it all to our facility. I wish I could remember the exact tonnage, but it's at least, I want to say it's close to 400 tons of leaves leave the city. It's just crazy how much is in the trees.
I believe it. I mean, we're the city of trees, right? And they're beautiful, but it all comes down. So now this is a question, maybe offhand, how many miles of road is there in Birmingham? I was just thinking about all the miles you have to keep fixed up and scoop up leaves from and everything.
Yeah, there's hundreds. I don't know the exact amount. I mean, we always get talking about the unimproved roads, and the unimproved roads, there's over 26 lane miles of unimproved, and we have definitely more than double or triple that. So we're over 100 miles of roads for sure in town that we deal with.
And just a little 2 mile by whatever.
Yeah, it's 4 point some odd square miles.
4 point odd, that's all?
Yeah. Yeah, the city's not that big, believe it or not, but there's a lot of activity.
No kidding. Yes. So I know downtown must take up a lot of effort because it looks so nice. And I know that the Chamber of Commerce works really hard, and the PSD. But how, that must take a lot of work just to keep it pristine.
Yeah, I mean, and it's combined effort. It's not just staff. We have contractors that are involved with that to make sure that we're covering everything that everyone needs. But we're down there constantly every morning doing watering for the beautiful flowers that are there, in addition to our automatic watering systems, to weeding, cutting the grass, all that.
Well, it's looking great, and for now, we're going to have to take a break here. We're talking with Scott Zielinski, who's the Director of Public Works for the City of Birmingham, about all the stuff you see and all the stuff you don't see. Don't go away. I'm Chuck Moss. We'll be right back here on Eye on Oakland.
Bloomfield Township Senior Services promotes wellness and strengthens the community through social connections, fitness classes, aquatics, day trips, and more. Our staff is here to serve you, offering lifelong learning and interactive opportunities for residents age 50 and above. Invest in your vitality with us. Follow us to learn more and stay up to date. We look forward to meeting you.
Hello and welcome back to Eye on Oakland. I'm Chuck Moss, your host, and we're talking with Scott Zielinski, who's the City of Birmingham Director of Public Works. And one of the things he said that was one of the more fun things they work on are parks. And like I said, I have to come clean here personally. With a 2-year-old grandson now, we are going to a lot of parks, and we are testing them out, testing to destruction. So it's good to see. Parks. One thing I caught my eye is that you're redoing Poppleton Park. I'm not supposed to say a lot of P's, but you can't say Poppleton Park without doing that. What's going on with Poppleton?
Yeah, so currently right now we're working on playground renovations. And we're doing that citywide, not just at Poppleton. But we've had a lot of community engagement here over the last few months, which is what you've seen, towards the improvements of those playground structures. We're looking to make this a fully inclusive park where basically anyone, regardless of their skills, capabilities, would be able to use the park. So like in this case, it'd be like a wheelchair-bound person can come in, use the swings. Anyone who has, quote, transferable abilities can get into these. One of the great features that we've gotten a lot of good feedback on for this is this like 30-foot tall tower that's going to be in there that, like, as long as the person can crawl, if they can get onto the structure, they can work their way all the way to the top. So this is like
30 foot, 30 feet high. Yeah, great. I want my 2-year-old grandson to do that. Grandpa, jump. But what you going to do? They can't all be baby parks.
Yeah, well, the good feature about that is so that section of the playground is actually designed for the 5 to 12-year-olds, but like they have the ability to get in there, sure, and get to the top. There's not a fall off risk once they're up there. It's enclosed at the top, but you can still see them. That's one of the good features is it's designed with materials so you can go, oh, I can see my kid up there. I can see through that. And at the same time, it's perfectly safe for them, and then they can get the big slides and come down, and that's the big fun for most of the kids, right?
It is a very big fun.
And so there's other sections of this playground that are actually designed for the 2 to 5-year-olds, and those have smaller things that have more of the visual aids for engaging them. And even though like this is meant to be focused on being fully inclusive for everybody, and this is going to be the first park like that in this city, we've had big push for big swings because like the adults like to get in there.
The old plain old school swing, with the 2 chains and the like rubber thing.
Yeah.
You can't improve on that.
I mean, you can for safety reasons.
Well,
but,
you can.
But in general, yes. The adult, we want to make sure we're taking care of them because they're there watching their kids. But additionally, we've heard for monkey bars. And
monkey bars.
That's not like a feature usually in inclusive parks, but it's a big thing we've heard about, so we're working it into the design. And at the same time, the other big thing people were concerned about was, we have these renderings on our website, so if people go to the city website, they can actually, under the Parks Department, go see what Poppleton's renderings look like. But they're like, oh, where's the shade? Because the renderings don't show all the trees that are there.
That's very important. Now, my daughter's a landscape architect, and she was here walking around looking at the parks thinking, shade, because of course she's in North Carolina, but you got to have shade. If it is, it's just a frying pan and no one will use it.
Right. So one of our big goals was to only remove trees that are truly sick as part of this. We're actually looking to plant a whole mess more trees. So in 15, 20 years, there's going to be even more natural shade. But we included some shade features over like where the sandbox is going to be and like in a little rest area where you're sitting watching it. And like this project as a whole is specific to the playground, but that doesn't mean that we're not trying for bigger and better things with Poppleton Park. Long term, we've had asked through our Parks and Rec master plan that was completed in 2023 for walking paths, bathroom facilities, and other features like that long term, we do plan on coming back and doing more with this park, but we're currently in the phase of let's update all the playgrounds all around town. We got stuff at Lincoln Hills also, or not Lincoln Hills, Lincoln Park.
Lincoln Hills, we're talking about another form of recreation, aren't we?
The Lincoln Wells site.
Yes.
And the Pump House Park are going to be starting to get some of this newer equipment for their playground structures here just shortly in the next coming months, hopefully before snow flies is the goal.
Sure.
And then this project as a whole is meant to kick off next spring, still part of this fiscal year. And so hopefully everybody gets to enjoy this by the
Well,
end
you
of next
mentioned
summer.
fiscal year. Tends to be a budget guy. Do you know, like ballpark, how much an improvement like this would cost?
It's going to be over $1 million. And budgeting wise, we had from November 2020, there was a bond that was passed for the parks.
That's right.
And this has always been part of that plan, was this update to this playground. So the majority of the funds come from that. But then additionally, we have, like funds for our parks as a whole for doing improvements like sidewalk improvements and just general landscaping stuff, upkeep of the parks as a whole that contributes towards this. And additionally, we have a donation page to help with this as well, also available on our city website. It's behamgov.org/donate.
We'll put that up on the screen. So that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you donate a certain amount of money, you can have your name on it.
So
I'm seeing a lot of those.
We haven't fully planned out for this park, like doing like the, like at booth, how we have the wall that has all the donates. We haven't gotten that, but at least
Park bench?
Yeah, exactly. Doing little like placards on that. The Rotary Club actually for Birmingham has already said they're gonna pledge $50,000 towards this park.
They have.
And that's all in the finalization coming here, but that's huge to this type of event because then it allows us to spend money elsewhere on other parks.
Well, the Birmingham Rotary Club has always been a very public-spirited and organization that contributes to the city.
Yeah, and we appreciate them too. So every little bit helps, but we encourage people to donate, especially if there's certain things you want to see in the park. So it doesn't have to be directly towards this particular project. It could be any project or any park bench or other items that we have showing on our city website that you can sign up for to donate towards.
Well, we were in Japan earlier this year, my wife and I, and they have little vending machines that have mixed cocktails there. And I suppose for the grown-ups to sit, maybe we could have Bloody Marys or something. But yeah, I don't know if Birmingham's ready for that. I don't know if it's legal in America anyway. So now I'm glad that you're talking about inclusive and that there is going to be something for most everybody, because it seems like a lot of parks are just basically little kid parks, basketball courts, and pickleball. There's a lot in between. How do you decide or figure out what's going to include?
So when it comes to the term of inclusive in this, it's literally meant towards an industry standard for access to the equipment. That's what this inclusive is. For the inclusive you're describing, which is what do we include in a community park or neighborhood park?
Yeah.
Those types of things. That comes down to a few different things. So I mentioned before the 2023 Parks and Recs Master Plan. So that was a huge input from the entire city. There was surveys, all that sort of ways of engaging people to see what they wanted at their parks. Additionally, when we do these individual items, so like Poppleton's a community park, so we engaged as much of the city as possible. There was announcements that went out, leaflets, postcards. So we try to do every avenue possible to make sure people are aware when it's like a community park to get everyone's opinion. And then if it's like a neighborhood park, like the Lincoln Wells site, we try to notice mainly that neighborhood because it affects them directly. It's intended for more than
like Adams.
directly. Yeah, exactly. So it's like get the localized opinion. But no matter what the project is, there's always an opportunity, and we try to make it clear, do social media posts, those types of things to let everyone know. We value everyone's opinion because at the end of the day, anyone can use any park, and we want to make sure that the facilities that are there and the benefits that people want to use are available to them, as opposed to just cookie cutter, basketball court, whatever.
Yeah. Now, are there dog parks? I don't know, because our wiener dog, we have dachshunds. They don't need to go run a lot. But are there dog parks?
So currently, right now, the only dog park in the city is at the Lincoln Hills facility. It's at that east end of the Lincoln Hills golf course parking lot. As right now, we've had some comments in that Park and Rec master plan that people would look for stuff like that. There's always the potential to add to our larger community parks if there's space, a concept of putting that in if the people really want it at the time we're doing that design. It's never an idea that's not there. I hear it come up every time we start talking about
I
it.
just wondered, like I said, we don't throw frisbees and have the dachshunds chase them, or they wouldn't even bring them back. So golden retrievers, yeah, maybe. But yes. So now I understand that it's been we're currently early September, and of course this show will keep showing, but like the Game of Thrones, winter is coming. So what's going on now with snow? You deal with snow. You've got to deal with leaves. That's one thing, but snow.
Yeah, I mean, snow happens every year.
It happens.
Yep. And, so for people that aren't truly aware, the city actually does more salting almost than we do truly plowing. And that's because, like, in recent years, we've had smaller snowfall events.
Yeah, knock on wood. Don't say that. You don't jinx us.
Right. But, we're prepared to plow if we have to plow. That's not that big of a deal. But we try not to plow when there's only a small amount of snow on the ground because you run risk of doing damage to the road surface. So that's why when some people are like, well, an inch of snow fell, why didn't anybody plow? That's the reason why. Especially on our unimproved roads that have those rougher surfaces, they're way easier to tear up. So we honestly don't try to plow unless there's at least 2 inches, if not 2.5 inches of snow on the ground, and then we'll plow. Otherwise, we're putting salt at intersections to make the intersections safe and allowing traffic to pull it along. Longer stretches we'll do like mid-block and stuff like that for dropping salt to spread things out. Now, don't get me wrong, if we get a nice storm, we're salting everything.
Sure.
But as a whole, we try to do, the right amount of service in the right location for the right amount of snow, if that makes sense.
Oh, it makes perfect sense. Yeah, ice. I don't. Oh, I wish I hadn't mentioned it. Yeah, it's coming. But yeah, I noticed that now, if you want to, you will declare, for instance, I wouldn't say a snow emergency, but get your cars off the street.
Yeah, no, legitimately.
My car too.
If we're seeing a massive amount of snow in a short amount of time predicted, we will declare a snow emergency. And fortunately, we're able to clean the roads cleaner off when that happens. Now, everyone should know, regardless of it being called or not, if there's 4 inches of snow that falls in a 24-hour period, it's automatic that the snow emergency kicks on. And we really do ask when the snow emergency is being announced or, is determined because it's needed. We need people off the roads. Get the cars off the roads so that we can fully clear everything out. And the faster we're able to get to everything, the better it is for everybody. But when we see those cars in the way, we do ask for ticketing and towing. And we don't want to do that, but we have to get the roads
Well, you got to get the roads done. So very quickly, just quick, the Christmas, holiday lights, how they go up, they go down. How many people does it take to put those up? Because they look great.
So we try to do it with only couple teams of 3, so it's up to 6 people at a time, and you'll see them out there at 5 in the morning as opposed to on our main busy streets. The parks we can do at almost any time, but the big busy streets, we're out there at 5 in the morning. We try to knock out as much as we can. We do work during regular hours on it also, but lower volumes makes it a little safer.
Well, they look great, and the Santa house and all that, which is also coming as well. Well, I appreciate your coming in and talking. We're talking to Scott Zielinski, who's the Director of Public Works, the City of Birmingham. We've covered everything from leaves to Christmas and parks as well. Thank you for coming, and we'll put back up, if you have any input on parks and parks direction, go check the website out. I'm Chuck Moss. Thank you for joining us here on Eye on Oakland.